you find yourself always getting into relationships with unavailable partners or narcissistic partners, even though you're following all the dating advice out there on how to find real love? And maybe you even find yourself only attracted to those unavailable or narcissistic types of partners. If this is you, you have a block to love, in particular, a subconscious block. This is really common if you had challenging relationships in your childhood or earlier years. So today I want to talk about a subconscious block that I actually uncovered recently and how these blocks can hold you back from getting that real love that you're looking for. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lindsay. I am the Real Love Alchemist, and I help you go from bad relationships to real love with the magic of subconscious work. If you're interested in learning more about what I do, click on the link in the description. So let me talk about my subconscious block that I recently unearthed. If you're new here, you may not know that I specialize in helping my clients release subconscious blocks. So I stumbled upon my own recently while I was doing one of my own guided meditations. So when my clients work with me in my different courses, I give them guided meditations to help them get to the source of the subconscious block, whatever it is. And so I do them myself because they work and they help me to continue to heal and open up. The guided meditations rewire your subconscious so you can be open to healthy love and feel attraction to healthy partners. So I do them all the time. So I had been doing this guided meditation for about 4 months. It had been a while. And one day I got to the point where I thought, oh, I'm done. I don't need to do it anymore. And what I tell my clients is when you get to a point where you feel like the guided meditation is boring, or it just feels like, oh, I already know this. I already know that I am so lovable and amazing. I don't need to listen to it anymore. So I thought that I had reached that point. So I didn't do the meditation for a few weeks because I didn't want to. But after a little while, there was this voice in my ear, this very soft voice that said, I don't think you're done. You're not done here. There was a very soft, quiet part of me that said, do it again. Keep going. And there was a lot of resistance in my mind to doing this guided meditation again. I was saying, no, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. But being in this healing game for a while and knowing that when there's resistance, usually on the other side of that resistance is a huge breakthrough. So I said, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to push through that resistance. So I did the meditation again with all my resistance there. And me actually doing that meditation again in the midst of that resistance, it brought up a tremendous amount of fear. And what I realized actually doing the meditation that first time that I started it up again was I had actually been stopping myself from continuing to listen to the meditation and continuing to heal because there was a part of me in my subconscious that believed if I continued to heal, I would eventually outgrow my current relationship. My mind was totally blown because that is not what happened. I continued to do the meditation and I am still very happy in my relationship. But there was a part of me that honestly thought that if I continued to heal, I would have to leave the relationship because actually now that I'm talking to you guys about it right now, I'm like, oh, now I understand the connection because that's what happened to me before when I was married. I did so much healing that I did eventually outgrow that relationship. And it was really hard and it was really scary. So thanks for listening. I just had this aha right here with you. I was convinced that I would no longer have this relationship that I am really happy with. And I was terrified of that. So I literally shut it down. My subconscious was like, nope, you're not listening to this meditation anymore. I need to keep you safe. Which was crazy because if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago if I needed to do this meditation again, I would have said, no way. I'm totally done. I don't need it anymore. But what was really going on was a subconscious block. So the reason I wanted to share this with you today is because this is what our subconscious can do. It can create a block that we actually can't see. Like I said, I would have had no idea that this was there unless I kind of like pushed through that resistance and kept going to see what was happening. It's literally a blind spot that we have. We can't see it. So since we can't see it ourselves, like if you were to ask me, do I have a subconscious block? I would say no, because you can't see it, you can't feel it. But what we can see is the effects of a subconscious block. We can see how we behave, and that's how we can tell if we have something going on in the subconscious that is keeping us from opening up to healthy love. The way subconscious blocks show up for a lot of people is a lack of attraction to healthy partners. Like if you've ever had an available partner approach you or be interested in you, and you thought like they were objectively cute, but you're like, oh, they're not my type, I'm just not feeling it, I don't feel any chemistry, I don't feel a spark. That's a sign that you might have a subconscious block. Now, this doesn't mean that every emotionally available person is going to be the right fit for you, but if you consistently find available partners unattractive, that's a block. This also shows up in a similar way if you only find yourself dating unavailable partners. Because usually, if that's the situation for you, if you are only dating unavailable partners, there's a part of you deep down that deems intimacy and emotional availability unsafe. So you're not going to realize this because, again, it's subconscious, but you're going to be very turned off by available partners. You're going to be very scared of them. They're not going to feel right for you. And you're going to feel very comfortable with the unavailable partners, even though those relationships are so painful. Another way subconscious blocks to love can show up is only dating or being in relationships with people who you feel like you have to fix or heal. Like if you start to feel like you need to save your partner, or that's the only type of relationship you have, that again could be a subconscious block. Because when you're in a relationship with someone who is your equal, someone who you don't have to save, that's a little bit scary when we have blocks because that's real intimacy and that can feel threatening. Another way a block can show up is continuously trying to earn love from people who can't give it to you. In particular, narcissistic partners. Narcissistic partners do not freely give love, but it can be very compelling to try to earn that love because it keeps you distracted from actual intimacy that you could be having with someone else. All of these things mean that there is a subconscious block that is sabotaging your attempts to find real love and intimacy. Now, if you notice yourself in these characteristics, no judgment here. Don't judge yourself. These subconscious blocks are only trying to protect you. It's not a character flaw. It's not something you did wrong. What's at the core of these blocks is usually fear. Something bad happened to you in the past, something that really hurt you or scared you. And so your subconscious is just trying to protect you from that happening again. So it's not that you're genuinely not attracted to partners who are available. It's just your subconscious shutting down that attraction to try to keep you safe in a misguided way to attempt to keep you safe. So like in my example, my subconscious perceived my continual healing as a threat to my relationship. Again, it actually wasn't. I'm totally fine. I'm still really happy. But because of what happened in my past, because I did actually outgrow a relationship in the past, it was so afraid of that happening again, so it shut it down. It said, nope, it's not safe to continue healing. And this is the same thing that our subconscious can do when we're out there dating. If it perceives love and relationships and intimacy and emotional availability as a threat somehow, it'll sabotage, it'll shut it down, and you will not find yourself in those healthy relationships because, again, the subconscious is just trying to protect you. So the journey here is to help your subconscious to understand that yes, it still needs to keep you safe, but it doesn't need to keep you safe from all relationships and from everyone. The journey is to help your subconscious understand that there are safe people to open up to. And this is the most important thing that you can do if you have been in bad relationships and you want real love. You most likely are walking around with some sort of subconscious block, and you have to get your subconscious on board with real love, with healthy love. Because if you don't, you will continue to be drawn into toxic relationships. Even if you hire a dating coach, even if you read all the books, you're unconsciously still going to be drawn into those relationships and go, why isn't this working for me? I should just give up. Don't give up. You don't have to. Dive into the subconscious and see what's there. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking, I don't have a block. I don't feel like I have a block. I feel totally fine. Again, like I mentioned before, you wouldn't be able to tell just by assessing yourself. You wouldn't be able to feel it. But again, you can tell that you have a block if you continue to have the same unhappy, unhealthy dating experiences over and over again. If you continue to date unavailable people, if you continue to date narcissists, that's a sign you likely have a block going on. So if you're trying to break the bad relationship cycle and it's just not working, check out my Living Free Finding Love program. I'm going to leave the link in the description here. This is what I created the program for, to release your subconscious blocks so that you can open up to real, healthy love. And I guide you through the dating process. So you're not on your own, so you're not missing any red flags, and most importantly, so you can learn how to spot the good partners out there. My clients break the cycle of bad relationships specifically because we are addressing the subconscious blocks. We're releasing the blocks, and then they are able to open up to real, healthy love. Because again, you can follow all the dating advice in the world, but if your subconscious is sabotaging your attempts at healthy love, it's not going to work. You have to get the subconscious on board with your conscious desire for a healthy relationship. If this is speaking to you today, reach out. It's worth it, I promise you. Speaking of not being able to feel attraction toward healthy partners, if you want to learn more about why that is, check out this video here. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Living Free Finding Love. I post almost every day about how to break the cycle of bad relationships, and I share a lot of my personal story there too. I'll see you there.